Good afternoon. This is Diane, DNF Properties, and as promised, I'm going to give you a quick recap on the seminar I attended this afternoon about 1031 exchanges. It was more of an intermediate class, so we got a little bit more in depth into these 1031s. Old Republic Exchange Company, which is related to Old Republic Title Company, was the presenter. First of all, there's so much to know about 1031 exchanges. I would really talk to, if you have an investment property, you can't use your residential for 1031s, but if you have your investment property and you want to find out before you sell it, well, if you can exchange it, how much tax you will save, what you can do, there's many different type of exchanges. If you qualify for any of those, I would highly recommend you speak to your CPA and to one of these exchange companies. Sheila Long will be more than happy to help you if you have any questions, but it's really important to talk to those people before you even get into a transaction, because once you're in a transaction, and there's lots of deadlines, and if you meet any of the deadlines, the whole 1031 could be disqualified, and you don't want that, because then there's penalties involved with that as well. It does have to be like kind. It doesn't mean it has to be like a house for a house or a house for a condo. It could be a house for a farm, as long as it's investment property and use it for investment purposes. There's a lot of little particulars that you really need to know, and it's, again, a good idea to call these people. The tax rate on if you pay capital gain tax, if you decide not to do a 1031 exchange, it can go all the way from zero. There's three categories: 0, 15%, or 20%. It depends on your tax bracket. That's for federal. And then the state tax is anywhere from 0 to 13.3%, depending where you live. We live in California with the highest state tax, and that's 13.3%. You'll pay capital gain. Plus, there's a 25% tax you have to pay on any recapture of a depreciation, which could be a lot as well. And then if you are a high-income person, over 250 for married or 125 for single people, then you have to pay a 3.8% Medicare surtax. So there's a lot of tax to pay if you don't want to do an exchange. So sometimes an exchange might be beneficial. Again, you need to talk to those people to see if it works for you. There's very strict timelines, a lot of little steps you have to do. You have to make sure you do everything in a timely fashion. And this, by the way, this current administration that we're in wants to cap the 1031 exchange. So right now, you can go all the way up to 5 million. From what I understood, but they want to cap it at 500,000 per person. So if you've got two people involved in an exchange, the most you can exchange is $1 million. If the property is over $1 million, everything else is going to be subject to capital gain. That's just something that's on the table right now. It hasn't passed, but that's what they want to do. So that's something to look out for. There's also on the table a talk about increasing the personal exemption on your personal residence from $500,000 to $1 million for married people and $250,000 to $500,000 for a single person. So again, there's a lot of type of exchanges. You could do an improvement exchange, a delayed exchange, reverse exchange. They all have their particulars. And again, talk to somebody who knows this. Another thing too, kind of related to estates. If you're involved in an estate where a family member has passed, the first thing you should do after you settle, everything else settles, is get that appraisal, because there is something called stepped up basis when an heir passes. That's like passing their legacy to their kids. So if it's in a certain, I'm not sure if it's just in trusts. I got to check that out, but there's a stepped up basis. When somebody dies, it's a really important thing to get that appraisal done, because that's the value of the property at that point in time instead of their basis, which could be very low. So again, if you need any information for a CPA or a exchange company, I have those. Just give me a call or text me 408-221-6602 or email me dfproperties5000@gmail.com. And everybody have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.